Welcome back to the video series on the 8-horse Mogul. Today we're drilling holes. There's over 70 holes in this skid. We're not drilling all of them today. I'm just going to drill the minimum that I need to get the skid bolted together. And then after we're done drilling holes, we'll take a look at some more parts. So enjoy the video. Hey, thought we'd look at a few parts here. I've got some valves and a couple of valve cages here for the 8-horse Mogul. One's the exhaust cage. This is the exhaust cage. And this is the intake cage. They go on the cylinder. If you look at the second video, there'll be a couple of holes in the cylinder you can see on the sides, and that's where these cages go. So let's take a look at them. Okay, so we got some parts here. This is one of the valves for the engine. This would be the intake valve. In comparison, this is a valve that would probably be in a normal 8-horse engine, like a Briggs or something like that. It'd be about that size. So quite a bit bigger. This intake cage looks really good. I cleaned it up a little bit. Probably just have to dress this surface here where the valve goes in here, and I'll probably just have to dress that, lap it, and I think this is going to be a pretty easy part to get ready to go on the engine. The exhaust cage, these take a lot of abuse. They get very hot, and this one's obviously been broke because it's probably froze. The water can't be drained all the way out of these castings, so they get real rusty, and then they freeze and they break. And I would say probably that this ear was broken off from a stuck valve. This valve that goes in here has had some work done on it. Let me get that real quick. So this is the valve that was in the exhaust cage. Somebody has made this valve the traditional way, which is a piece of cast for the cast iron for the head of the valve, and then they thread a shaft in there, and then this should be brazed and peened. So I just got to check and see if this valve is concentric, if it's going to set in this hole and in the mating surface in there good enough, or if I'm going to have to make another valve here. I just don't know about this. It's a little different. We're just going to have to see how it works, and if it has good seal so we can get compression, because if you don't have compression, you don't have anything. And but this cage has had a lot of work done to it, but it's been done very well. It's been brazed, and then you can see this surface, which is the mating surface for the gasket, has been machined. And let me get one of the gaskets. So this is one of the gaskets, be for the intake or the exhaust. Goes on here like that, lines up to your holes. This is probably the intake. Okay, no. So anyway, these are crush gaskets. They're a 3-part gasket. They've got material in the middle between 2 pieces of material here, the copper, and it's formed, and then it crushes when you put this surface on the cylinder and tighten the screws down. So these gaskets, you can have them made. There's a place in Oklahoma makes them. I actually have them made in Thailand. There's a guy there that makes them, makes really good stuff. And so anyway, so that's the valve cages and the valves. And next time we'll take a look at the cylinder head itself in the next video. So thanks for making it this far, and we'll talk to you later. Hey, thanks for making it to the end of the video. Tina really appreciates that you watched the whole thing. It's kind of a boring video in my opinion, because drilling holes just isn't that fun, but it's part of the process and had to be done. So got about 20 holes drilled. It's enough to put the skid together and then finish it up later with the rest of the holes. One comment, that valve that I said was made the traditional way, where it was cast iron on the head and then steel rod, they made them that way because the steel at that time wasn't good enough to handle the heat, and the cast iron was, so they made the head out of cast iron, and then the steel rod was for the shaft. So that's why they were made that way. A lot of my engines have valves that are made that way. Next video, we'll be cutting the radiuses on the skid ends. If you'll look at the first video, there was a print there showing the rails with the mortises, and the ends are curved, and we'll be cutting those. They're 8-inch radiuses. We'll be cutting those in the next video. So Tina says subscribe, like, and leave me a comment. Let me know what you think of this video and what you think of this series. And thanks for watching.